Have you ever found yourself tangled in a web of confusing data transfer objects, wondering if you're making the right choices? If that sounds like you, stick around. Today, we're diving into the world of DTOs and REST APIs and how to avoid common pitfalls. I totally get it. Designing a REST API can be overwhelming, especially when you're trying to balance clarity and efficiency. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face the same dilemma. Here's the specific question we're tackling today. One user asked, am I falling into an anti-pattern by reusing DTOs for various request and response types? They shared their experience with similar DTOs across multiple endpoints and expressed concern about clarity and redundancy. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what's the issue here? When DTOs are too similar, it can lead to confusion about what properties are actually needed for each endpoint. This can make your API less intuitive and harder to maintain. Let's break this down. And don't go anywhere. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear strategy for handling your DTOs effectively, and I promise it will make your API design much smoother. To address the user's concern about using data transfer objects, or DTOs, we can start by defining a clear structure for the requests and responses. This will help in maintaining clarity and reducing redundancy. Next, the user can consider using composition over inheritance. Instead of creating a base class, they can create smaller, reusable components that can be combined as needed. Additionally, the user should document the properties required for each endpoint clearly. This will help consumers of the API understand what is necessary without confusion. Finally, the user can implement validation logic to ensure that only the required properties are sent in the requests. This will help prevent unnecessary data from being processed. Fun fact, the term anti-pattern was coined to describe common responses to recurring problems that are ineffective. So, avoiding anti-patterns in your API design is not just smart, it's essential. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user suggests separating DTOs for each endpoint into two distinct groups, request and response. They recommend having a base class for both requests and responses to include general properties, but caution against mixing inheritance between the two. Although this approach may require more initial coding, it prevents future complications and extensive refactoring. Here's a pro tip. Regularly review your DTOs as your API evolves. This practice can save you from future headaches and keep your API clean and efficient. And there you have it. With these strategies, you can design your API with confidence, avoiding common pitfalls. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button for more insights, and remember to keep your API clean and efficient.